Yeah, buddy. Who cares? We only care what Alum thinks. Let's bring him in. Former Oiler, Washington Capitals analyst for Monumental Sports TV. Al, thanks for coming on, man. Happy Monday. Here it is. Oilers, Panthers. Not too many people had it happening. How did we get here?
Well, we got there by the Edmonton Oilers drafting about the way they play, not just on Dave Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Evan Bouchard, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They decided to start playing defense. The way they play without the puck has been sensational. Who'd ever think they'd be the best penalty-killing team? We expect the best power play team. And when you look at that, and then the Florida Panthers, you go back to them, they learned a lot of lessons last year. They've got a lot of scar tissue, a lot of bumps and bruises. They were not healthy enough last year to compete to win the Stanley Cup. They played in the finals, but it wasn't really them. And here we are with two gritty teams that play so well without the puck, that score goals when they need them. Incredible coaching, I believe, on both sides. Edmonton's made up for a short, maybe a deficiency in net at times by excellent defensive play, because they're the worst team in the league the first month of the season. They had the worst goaltending. And I don't blame it on the goaltenders. I blame it on how they were playing the game. They changed the coach, changed the systems, and all of a sudden they were the best team in the league from that day forward. Florida Panthers have been on a hot streak, and they just continue to roll and ride. So they're both deserving to be where they are at right now.
I got to ask you how much home ice means anymore. You battle so hard to get it, and then the pundits put so much stock into it when we're previewing series and so forth. But both the Panthers and Oilers won key road games to go up 3-2 and come home and clinch in Game 6. Does home ice matter anymore?
Well, the stats say that it does, but I don't think that it does. I honestly believe that it's the quality of coaching that you're getting. You have time between games now to reset and refocus. Back when I played, you'd have your first 4 games in 5 days, and all of a sudden your head would be spinning. Your coaches, it was just too fast for your coaches. They never came up with anything different. Now the coaching staff, you refocus, you regroup, and you go back to the adage that it's just one game. And whether you lose 12-0 or 1-0 in overtime, it's just a game. You reset, you refocus, and you go out the next game and play a better brand of hockey, hopefully. And that's what we've seen the Oilers do. That's what we certainly see the Dallas Stars do throughout the playoffs until they couldn't do it anymore. And the Florida Panthers don't care where they play and who they play against. They just find ways to win.
How the players decided, no doubt. I mean, for the Rangers, Artemi Panarin didn't do a thing. Zibanejad didn't. The players decided. However, how important is coaching in a series, specifically this one, Paul Maurice versus Chris Knobloch, in your mind?
Coaching's critically important nowadays. It used to be about line matching, and Scotty Bowman was a human calculator, and he knew what lines you were putting out before you did. Actually, in one of my series against Scotty Bowman years ago, I thought he was changing our lines starting in the 5th game, the 6th game, and the 7th game. They go on to win the Stanley Cup. But now it's about having the right systems, and you still have to match your lines, but you don't have one player checking an elite player. You may have 2 lines, sometimes even 3, that you go out against, say, a McDavid. What we saw in that Rangers series by Paul Maurice was classic. He took away Kreider and Zibanejad and whoever they played with. He took them out of the games. That to me was system, because Kreider was trying. He was working. Zibanejad was trying. He was working. That was a system. I thought the Rangers were outcoached in that series. I thought Peter Laviolette was too stubborn to change his system. It doesn't matter what players you put in the lineup. He quit forechecking. He quit trying to score. They never had shots in the second and third periods in the last series. Paul Maurice had him figured out. This next series, the first game, probably not going to be that exciting, but because the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers are in it, it probably will be. But this is going to be a feeling out game, the first game. They both play very similar styles, although the Panthers are way more nasty. The Oilers, they're special teams focused, but they're 5-on-5 without the puck. They've been tenacious. They've been dogged on the puck on the back check. And the Panthers, so have they. But the Panthers are in your face on the forecheck. So are the Oilers. But when I look at this, you've got one roster that's stacked up top, the other one that's so well balanced. And then the better defense, I give the push to the Florida Panthers. Better goaltending to the Florida Panthers. Coaching, I'm going to go to Paul Maurice right now because Knobloch's so young and so new. but he hasn't been outcoached by anyone at all year. So I still believe in him. This is going to be a great series.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. You went to it first. So we got coaching, Panthers, goaltending, Panthers, and I missed it. You got to go forwards. Where are we going?
The better forwards, so the superstar forwards are on the Edmonton Oilers. You've got McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman. But the balance of forwards, when you go to lines 3 and 4, the Panthers win hands down. And they've also got, I think 3 extra players that they can slide in and out on the Panthers to play in the 3rd or 4th lines. But Ryan Lombard didn't play the last game. He is effective. He can get in your face, score some goals. So I give the actual forward. The top players go to the Oilers, but the roster of forwards, the balance for the 4 lines, that goes to the Florida Panthers, and you need 4 lines to win.
I'm going to disagree with you. I feel like we're sitting here having a plate of veal cutlets, man, just talking hockey. I'll go with the Oilers with the forwards because of McDavid. It's like when they say, who wins the trade? The team that got the best player. Okay, the Oilers have McDavid, so I'll give them the check mark. We got to give them something now. And the blue line, who gets the check mark there?
Oh, for sure, it's the Panthers. We saw what they were able to do last year. Now that they're healthy, their 2 best right-handed defensemen, and Ekblad was damaged goods last year in the finals. I don't know how we played a game. Montour was hurt. I don't know how he played throughout the playoffs. They're 100% healthy right now, or at least they look like they're pretty healthy. And the depth that they have, when you think of the Edmonton Oilers right now, you think of Bouchard, Ekman, and you look at Darnell Nurse is kind of a wild card. So when I look at the other side, Gustav Forsling, Ekblad, Montour, OLE, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, OEL. But I think that the players on the Panthers, they have more depth there. So to me, you might say that because the Oilers have McDavid and Draisaitl, they've got the best forwards, but it's all 4 lines because you got to play those other lines. If you can only play players 3 and 4 minutes, like the Oilers do a lot of nights on their 4th line, Evander Kane's hurt right now. I look at the depth of the Panthers as critically important. When I look at the overall depth of the roster of the Panthers, there's a win right there. Top to bottom, they have more slots in every position. Whether it's your 4th right winger, your 3rd right defenseman, that edge goes to the Florida Panthers, in my opinion.
And let's not forget, we're out of time here, but the all-important check mark that nobody ever talks about. Who's hungrier? It's the Florida Panthers. I'm sorry. I've been around them all year. They're still ticked off about last year. And by the way, I talked to some of them this morning, Al. They're smiling. They're confident. That's scary for the Oilers, right? Panthers are relaxed going into this series, not nervous at all.
No, I'm with you. You know what? And I actually just did my stuff for CBS about a half hour ago, and they asked me who I was picking. I was going Panthers in 7. And I hope that it's 7. I want it to be 7. I really don't care who wins. But I love the way the Panthers play. I think it's great for the National Hockey League, especially since it's a copycat league where every general manager is going to run out and try to construct his roster like the Florida Panthers, who kind of constructed their roster like the Tampa Bay Lightning learned that they had to do. I want tough, gritty, in-your-face hockey. I want guys that are a pain in the ass to play against on my team. And I look at the Panthers. They got a pack of hyenas. They got a pack mentality, and they go out there and go for it every night. I love the way they play. Edmonton, they still haven't got to that phase yet. They just look to McDavid, Draisaitl. We hope for the power play, but I'm picking the Panthers in this series.
Ladies and gentlemen, the unbiased sports commentary of Alan May, who I might add is from Edmonton. You forgot who you're talking to, Al. Enjoy the hockey. Enjoy the hockey. Thanks for the time, Al. Alan May of Monumental Sports in Washington and CBS Sports as well.